Hey everybody, this is a tool review. You may think, hey, it's on 1/2-inch wrench. What brand is the best? Yes, that is part of the demonstration here. But also, I would like for everybody to keep in mind that it's not always about how well the wrench fits, but for the application that the wrench is needed. Perfect example. All three of these are 1/2-inch wrenches. One of them is a Craftsman, autocraft, and kobalt. I have sets of kobalt and sets of Craftsman. That's the autocraft. And just by looking at the outwards appearance of all three of them, I would say, hey, the autocraft looks cheaper. The 12-point end is not exactly on center. It doesn't, the tooth form isn't exactly right, but you know, who knows until you actually put it on something. This one, pretty centered, tooth form's good and sharp. Everything else about it looks good. Chrome plating's fine. Nothing real big to see here. So then you might look at this one, Craftsman. I'm not sure if this seems like a decently older Craftsman. I'm not sure if it's 90s, 80s, early 2000s or whatever, but it's definitely before they started doing their overseas castings, because you see some of these Craftsmans and the 12-point is definitely way off center. It's thin, a lot thinner than this, and you can just tell it's cheaply made. Nothing like the original Craftsman that everybody loves. So anyways, so I have a rear end from a 74 Nova here. And to take the rear axles out, there's a 1/2-inch bolt that you have to pull out of the rear end in order to let this pin drop. Then you can pull both of the axles out of either side. After you pull you can pull the pin out, push the axles in, pull the C-clip off of each side, and then you can pull the axles out. Beside the point. I put one of my 1/2-inch wrenches on here, and I was like, this seems a little bit loose, you know. I was like, dang, this is just that cheap old kobalt wrench. Well, I was like, I got this nice long 1/2-inch autocraft and get some good leverage. I'll see how it fits. Well, I put it on there, and I'm like, well, it's kind of loose as well. I'm like, well, I'll go with the old Craftsman. You know, they're American made, good tools. It should be tight on there. Well, look at there. Same difference. They're all loose. Even the good tool, Craftsman, American made, doesn't fit on it like it's supposed to. And yet, could the hex on this head be smaller than normal? Yes. There's a lot of different variables out there, but as far as the fit goes, all three of them fit the same, pretty much, within not enough to really notice and feel like it, well, yeah, that one's good and strong. So my point is, don't buy a wrench based on its brand name because you think it's gonna fit every bolt better. This bolt's been in a sealed rear end with grease and oil, lubed it up the whole lifespan it's had. There's nothing corroded on it. There's no extra schmoo added to it that is gonna make your wrench not fit it. So, my point being, you take one of these AKA loose wrenches. Say you find one that is looser than the rest of the ones you get in your toolbox. Don't throw it away. Keep it. You might find one that's got some, extra junk on it, like what's all over this rear end. Like these fellas that I struggled to get a 9/16 on. I had to knock it on there with a hammer to get all the junk off of it. You got a loose wrench, it might slide right on there and break it loose quicker than you having to clean the nut off and use your good wrench on. That's my point. Every tool is useful. Hang on to it. If you haven't used it in a year, so what? If it's not in your way, keep it. One day it'll come in handy. Trust me. Been there, done that. Done a lot of mechanicking. That's one thing I've learned. Is don't throw away a tool unless it's broken or dangerous. Have a good day.